Has Meghan Markle been hiding her plastic surgery? And is she doing it to try to look more like Kate Middleton? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and it's Royal Guest Week this week here on both of my channels, Popcorn Planet and Popcorn Palace. And I'm so happy to have today's guest, Paula M. Welcome to the channel, Paula. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me, Andy. Hello, beautiful people. Thanks for watching. I love being here. Thank you, Andy.
So nice to have you. I'm a big fan of what you're doing. Your channel is doing great. And I want to, before we even get to this topic of Meghan's plastic surgery, which I know you have some opinions on, you've made some videos on. I'd love to go back just first to understand what brought you into this whole thing in the first place. You've been following, I guess, these Meghan specifically since the very beginning, right? Right as she was starting to date Prince Harry, you had a whole instance online where everybody canceled you for just saying what you felt, that you thought she was a grifter, correct?
Yeah, at the time, well, first of all, for people to understand, because I know that they're gonna hear an accent when I speak, and you know, I'm part Latina. They say, "Oh, why you're Latina? Why it doesn't matter?" I'm Canadian, you know, also. So Canada is part of the Commonwealth and also the realm, you know.
Yep.
Basically the monarch of the United Kingdom is our head of state as well. So that's why I got involved. For me, it was about, I didn't know Harry was dating at all until he did that statement online saying, "Oh, leave my girlfriend alone, you know, you're racist," or whatever it was he was saying. I'm like, who is Meghan Markle? Oh, lordy, she turns out to be doing a series on Suits in Toronto, which I didn't know about, in spite of the fact that I lived there. And then but the most amazing thing was that the newspapers made it sound like this big star was a multi-millionaire. So I said, I got the wrong one, because all I could come up with was this thing on Suits. She had been previously married, and I read how nasty she was to her former husband. You know, her father was an Emmy Award winner, you know, whatever. And it's just, things didn't add up. You know, she came across as fake. I looked for the racism that Harry kept alluding to. I couldn't find it anywhere, you know. So there was something off, and things on the day that they got married, I posted a tweet when I saw Oprah walk in, and I only saw her mother being invited, and her father had a heart attack, you know, and stuff like that. And this is the same father that she couldn't save enough praises about him prior to knowing Harry. I mean, in that UN speech she gave, she said that all little girls needed a father like hers to empower them. And here he is, that man, and he's vilified in the press. He's had a heart attack, and she's smiling and having, you know. And I thought, but the most strange thing to me was, why is there only Doria there? You know, and I said, this woman is only gonna come here, gonna marry this guy, and gonna take off to the United States with the titles, and she's gonna try and be an A-lister and open doors using a royal title. All the doors that have always been shut at her, you know, she thinks that with a title they're gonna be open now that she's part of the royal family.
So you sensed and called her a grifter from day one, pretty much.
Well, I didn't say grifter. That's the funny thing. I said something along the lines like, can't anybody see what I'm saying? Am I the only one seeing that this woman, something is very off with this woman? Why is only the mother there? Where is the rest of their family? You know, things are not looking good. Look at the queen's face.
I mean, and that was daring of you, Paul, because early on, you weren't allowed to criticize her at all. Meghan was royalty.
My account was suspended for I think 3 to 4 months. I actually had to open a new account because I actually got it back with Elon Musk.
Wow. So they suspended you just because you were questioning.
I was called racist. That I was called racist because I didn't even talk about her race, because I thought she was Latina when I saw her. I didn't think she was until I saw her mother, you know, and I thought, oh, she's black. You know, I was relieved because I didn't want her to be Latin, because she would speak badly about the Latin community, or you know, she would not represent us well. Let me put it this way. So,
well, honestly, the race was I never understood either, because I didn't know where she's from. I look at her, I don't know. She could be a million things. This idea that's why we're disliking her is a very frustrating idea. But anyway, Yes, speaking of her looks, you called it out early. Over time, though, you've now been following her. You've had a successful YouTube channel. People have come around to see all these issues, and now talking about the looks and specifically getting to the topic at hand, she's now seeming to change her looks. Now she's seemingly getting this plastic surgery. A lot of people are accusing her of trying to look like Kate Middleton, but you have another theory, huh? What is your thought on this?
Well, if you look at this woman, there's this famous picture of Princess Diana wearing a shirt, posing with the glasses there. And she did another post like that in Rwanda. And this is a very famous shot. I'm sure your viewers or your subscribers know which picture I'm talking about. Because this woman has been absolutely obsessed about Princess Diana. I didn't know anything about Harry. I didn't know anything about, I didn't Google. And we know that's BS because her best friend Inaki Pretty, there's even pictures of her outside of Buckingham Palace when she was a teenager and she went to Europe, you know. And it's to me, first of all, I think she's having the plastic surgery because she's trying to erase her Black heritage. Because everything, I mean, this is a woman who's lived a very different kind of life. She even says she couldn't identify with, you know, Black community prior to leaving, going back to living in the United Kingdom. But to me, if you look at her pictures, if you look at the pictures, especially there's one I think I told you about, when they're saying hello to Elton John, her mouth, everything about her, it looks like Princess Diana, that she's trying to emulate Princess Diana's smile, that picture. You know, that's the picture. Look at that. It's like this. It's like because her smile wasn't like that before. But she keeps changing her teeth. She's trying to look, even the nose. Look how she's pointing the nose the way, you know, if you look at the Princess Diana's nose, look how she's guiding that. Because Catherine has a different type of nose. Look at that. You see that?
It is. It's strange. I mean, so this is not the best quality. I wish I had a better one, but still, you're not wrong. I wonder if I go to the full. It's so filtered, it's hard to actually see it. But yeah, it's hard to not see some similarity there. But yeah, I mean, in this instance, you're right. There's certain parts, but at the same time, the hair, there's definitely a lot of Kate Middleton vibes.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I know why people say, I have absolutely nothing against plastic surgery. If I could, I have it too, you know. But what bothers me is the hypocrisy of all her followers who keep trashing Catherine because she's too skinny, she's too that, because she has Botox once a little bit. But Catherine, a lot of plastic surgeons, you know how they have these videos that they study, they all admit that she hasn't had plastic surgery. You know,
she seems to be aging regularly, normally. Yeah.
She takes good care of herself. She eats well. She exercises. And whenever Meghan Markle is like skin and bones, nobody calls her anorexic. And then they keep calling Catherine anorexic, or, you know, she's suffering. She's doing this. She's doing that. Or her hair. You know what? Let me tell you something, Andy. Meghan Markle will look more interesting if she had her afro hair. You know, she would look more exotic, like something, you know, especially from a woman who says is 43% Nigerian. But, you know, the problem I have is that the criticism that Catherine gets when Meghan does twice the thing, there's a picture of Catherine when she attended the Top Gun premiere with the black dress and the white thing on the top. And then the very next day, and everybody, the sugars were criticizing how horrible she looked, at what a tacky thing, black and white. And the very next day, Meghan in New York is copying the look. You know, so it's kind of like, it's an obsession with this woman. The same thing for the marriage. Remember when she said that she didn't know anything about the royals, and yet she did an interview way back when she was criticizing Catherine's wedding, saying, oh, that was a big thing, that she didn't need that woman didn't need that spectacle, and blah, blah, blah. Well, the queen actually didn't want to give her a huge wedding because this was her second wedding, you know. And the queen even said, does she need to get married like that in church, wearing a white veil? And their wedding cost 10 million pounds more, almost 10 million pounds more than Prince William and Catherine's wedding.
That's wild. And just sorry, I'm catching up because, yeah, you well said. I want to make sure I had it. But here's that thing you were talking about, Meghan copying the dress of Catherine. But yeah, I don't want to. The fact that the wedding of Meghan's was that much more expensive is wild to me.
Yeah. You know that Meghan got £1 million on wardrobe, which combined, if you combine all the royal household princesses, you could they all of the royal households, Scandinavia, all of those, British, Spanish, they it came up to about 800,000 pounds. Meghan's was about 1 million pounds for 1 year.
It's wild.
So, and this is a woman, like, you know how Catherine did that gold wedding, and even the way she's speaking, she tries to sound more posh or imitate how Catherine speaks and the looks. Even, her wedding gown, her first wedding, even her first wedding, if you pop up her wedding gown, her first wedding looks very much like the gown that Catherine wore after the wedding ceremony. She had the wedding ceremony for her, for the church, and then she had her the dress for the night. If you look at Meghan's first, no, to Trevor, her first wedding is to Trevor Engelson, Meghan Markle's first wedding. It's
Wait, Meghan
very much,
Markle was married to someone else before Prince Harry?
yeah, Trevor Engelson. She's divorced.
Oh my God, how did I not know this?
Yeah, and they were together.
Who is this guy? I gotta look all what?
And he owns a production company, which is very well known in the United States, Trevor Engelson. He owns a very
Wow.
successful production
Guys, I
company.
know, I'm sorry. That's why I'm bringing these experts in so I get properly informed. She had a first wedding, 4 days partying, bikini clad bride, plenty of booze. What?
By the way, her father.
It's like the complete opposite of what she settled with now.
Yeah, and then her father gave her $10,000 for that wedding. The father went there. You see that white dress there?
This one?
Look at that white dress. The one where she's on her own looking down. That one.
Yep.
Okay, now look at Catherine's at the bottom with the little thing. If you look at Catherine's, that one.
Oh, man. So there's Catherine's dress, and there's, wow. So
Yeah.
This was her wedding dress to her first husband,
Yeah.
exclusive for me. You blew my mind. And then here's what that was Catherine's dress. So she was emulating Catherine's wedding dress on her first wedding, to not Prince Harry.
Yeah. And then she did an interview. I believe it wasn't when Catherine got married. They asked her about the royal wedding. She's even holding a magazine of Catherine in the cover. And she's talking how, how it's more like Shira. She even talked about it at the TIG in their blog. How, she's more like Shira, that she didn't need to do what Princess Catherine had done. She didn't need that big wedding. So the Queen was actually quite shocked when, for the wedding in the United Kingdom, she decided to have a huge wedding. And the Queen suggested, because she'd been married before, to maybe have a smaller ceremony, and she absolutely refused. As I told you,
She made it bigger.
Yeah.
Went against the Queen's request to make it even bigger.
No. And then the Queen was surprised because she didn't understand why she came in wearing a white veil, and I mean, everything. It was so contrived, but it's like she had a chance to not copy Catherine. Not only did she copy Catherine's wedding, she made it even bigger. And then she goes on Oprah and calls it a spectacle, when nobody, actually the Queen had suggested they have a small affair.
It's wild. I mean, there's so much to break down. That's why I think so many are fascinated. That's why I think a lot. I mean, because we started this with the plastic surgery, and it does seem like there have been obvious changes, and there's obvious just controlling behaviors. There's obvious obsessions to people. There's so much that's going on as you go through, as she's become the now Meghan Markle Duchess
gold
character.
Dress, for example, that gold dress over there. Remember that when Catherine went to the James Bond with that amazing Jenny Pacan gold gown? So she's trying to create her golden moment, walking through her. I'm sorry, but that was so funny. I mean,
so while you may not, so it sounds like she's covering everybody. She wants to be a combination of Kate Middleton, Princess Diana, all of them. Do you think maybe that is part of the surgery, the styling, that she's just trying to be royal, and once again proving that she really does know and is way more into the royal lifestyle than she alluded to?
Well, I think it's not that she wants to admit. I think that she's been caught out in the lie, because now everybody's speaking out that nobody believes that.
Right.
She didn't know anything about Harry. That's absolutely insane. Or she did I think she did a shoot about, and she's posing for dresses. There's a famous picture of her that goes, like this because Princess Diana, whenever she laughed and she was embarrassed, she always covered her mouth. You know, she was very shy. If you look at pictures of Princess Diana laughing, especially in public, she would like this. She would do that. So you see Meghan, a 37-year-old woman, because she did this thing in Vogue about a year and a half ago, where she's posing with all these dresses, and they catch her laughing. She goes like this because Princess Diana was very shy. So she would laugh, she was embarrassed to laugh too loud because her laughter was very loud. So she would try to stifle it. So it's the things that she's copying also about Catherine. It's a mix of both. I
Yeah.
believe that this woman is obsessed with the both of them while trying to pretend that she knows nothing about them. You know that she took cursing and royal etiquette in Pasadena prior to going to England to meet the Queen.
Really?
Yeah, the guy who actually in Pasadena, he did an interview how Meghan hired him prior to her going to meet the Queen. She hired him and he taught her for about a couple of months how to curtsy, how to do all of that. So when she's talking on Netflix, that does that really shameful mocking curtsy to the Queen, because she didn't know. She knew everything. She had paid this guy who's a royal expert based in Pasadena to teach her all about how to drink tea, how to do this, how to do that. There's interviews of him talking about it.
Wild. There's so much more I'm learning from you and so many others, and that's what I love about this. And now I love that you're going to come over to Popcorn Palace because I want to talk more about the whole idea of her controlling Harry. Is she the puppet master? Has this really been her whole plan? I think I know where you're going to go in that, but I want to break it down even more detail. So head on over to Popcorn Palace for our next video, and make sure you also subscribe over to Paula M's YouTube channel. Support her. She clearly knows what she's talking about. Paula, lovely to meet you. You blew my mind. I didn't know about the first husband and that she wore the dress. My God. I mean, I knew a lot of these things sort of, but that one's a doozy. So thank you for enlightening me. And there's more and more, it seems to be enlightening everybody else. Let's head on over to that channel for more conversations with Paula. Always a pleasure. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up, leave a comment down below here on Popcorn Palace and on Paula's channel, Paula M's YouTube channel. We'll see you guys over there next. Thank you guys so much for watching.